Welcome to week 2 of our Lent retreat. I hope you are well at the beginning of this new week. This week we're thinking about opening up to community and the importance of relationships in our lives. I think it's something that we've all become incredibly aware of, haven't we, through this experience of the pandemic. So we'll be thinking about those relationships that are really important to us and those people that we rely on. We'll also be thinking about how we may like our communities, our society, to open up as we move into this kind of new time ahead of us. Perhaps again, as we've said before, we don't really want to go back to just doing business as normal. Maybe we'd like something to change. So there'll be the opportunity to think about some of those issues for ourselves during the retreat this week. Excuse my voice being a bit croaky this morning. I didn't sleep very well last night, so I'm a little bit out of it this morning. So if I don't make much sense, that'll be one of the reasons. So let us begin just by having a short time of prayer and reflection together. I know some of you sometimes watch my mindfulness videos, and so I'm adapting a practice that we use in mindfulness. And what I'd like to suggest is that we do a very simple body prayer together, and we link that in with the rhythm of our breathing. So what I'm going to suggest is that we hold our hands open in front of us, and in time with our breathing, as we breathe in, we close our fingers, and as we breathe out, we open them. And then we're going to attach some words of a prayer to that movement. So as we breathe in and close our fingers, may the light of God shine in me. And as we open our hands and breathe out, may the love of God flow through me. So I'll just show you that once more. May the light of God shine in me, and may the love of God flow through me. We're going to do that 5 times. So you may want to close your eyes, or you might just want to look at the movement of your hands. May the light of God shine in me. May the love of God flow through me. May the light of God shine in me. May the love of God flow through me. May the light of God shine in me. May the love of God flow through me. May the light of God shine in me. May the love of God flow through me. Final time. May the light of God shine in me. And the love of God flow through me. Amen. So as I say, this week we're thinking about those relationships that really matter to us. We're thinking about what it means to love and to be loved. And we're following on from that overarching theme that we're taking for the retreat this year, about holy ground. And I found this beautiful poem, which is about holy ground and other people. Our first task in approaching another person, another people, another culture, another religion, is to take off our shoes. For the place we are approaching is holy, else we may find ourselves treading on another's dream. More serious still, we may forget that God was there before our arrival. Just going to read that once more as it's quite short. And as you listen, you might just want to see where that's really connecting with you, the words of this poem. Our first task in approaching another person, another people, another culture, another religion, is to take off our shoes. For the place we are approaching is holy. Else we might find ourselves treading on another's dream. More serious still, we may forget that God was there before our arrival. I think they're such powerful words, aren't they? And how would it be if we lived our life really believing that? Really believing that when we approach another person, when we encounter another person, when we listen to another person, that actually we are on holy ground and we need to behave and respond with that awareness that God is there in this person. And I think if we did that as individuals, if we did that as communities, if we did that as society, how different our world would be. We've seen, yet again, tragedy, haven't we, in the last 10 days with the terrible murder of Sarah Everard. And then the images that we have seen in the media this weekend from the vigils that took place in her memory. People behaving with a complete disregard that other people are holy ground. So I'll put that little reading up on our Facebook page later on today, because you may want to print that out actually and just let those words really sink in. But as I was thinking about this theme myself, I was thinking that there are three areas that feel particularly significant for me with this theme of opening up to community. Three awarenesses, I guess, that have come from this experience of the last year. And the first is really obvious and probably the one that we're all most aware of, which is how much we need other people. We're created to be in community, I think, aren't we? So I've been listening to people during the retreat over the last week, and one of the things we've been reflecting on is how people have been affected by the pandemic, whether they're extroverts or introverts. But actually that has nothing to do with the fact of how much we need other people. So people who have considered themselves to be really strong introverts have still had that same aching, that same yearning for human contact. So yes, one of the things that we're most aware of through this experience is how much we need other people. And I've seen that particularly in my children who are various ages, that actually not being able to mix freely with their friends and loved ones has had a profound impact on them. We see it even more, don't we, when we think of all those people, and you may be one of them, who have been unable to see loved ones in care homes this last year, and how terribly painful that has been. I think about a friend of mine who, her daughter has just given birth to their first granddaughter, and in Guatemala, of all places. And it's unlikely that my friend Helen will be able to actually hold that little baby for a long, long, long time yet. And again, that might be a similar experience for you. become aware of how much we need people, haven't we? The second thing that occurred to me is that we've become so aware of how dependent we are on other people. We feel, or certainly we did earlier on in the pandemic, an enormous sense of gratitude for all those amazing key workers who have kept us going through this pandemic. So people in the NHS, obviously, and that clapping that we were doing earlier on in the year on a Thursday evening, but people who work in shops, people who drive our buses and tubes, people who are delivery drivers. I've been particularly affected by our, I don't know what the official word is these days, I was going to say bin men, but I don't think that's what they're called anymore, refuse collectors, who all the way through the pandemic have just shown up and collected my recycling and my rubbish without a fuss. They've just done it, as they always have. But this year I've been particularly aware of how dependent I am on people like them doing their job. So one of the things that we'll have this week is the opportunity to really kind of take time to be grateful to some of those people that we have been dependent on. So that's the second area that occurred to me. And the third area, which seems to have become really apparent over this last year, is how unfair or unequal our society is. Over this last year we've had the death of George Floyd, as well as this recent death of Sarah Everard, pointing out some of the fundamental inequalities in our world. So the Black Lives Matter movement. But we've also seen how poorer communities in our own country have been disproportionately affected and impacted by the pandemic. Again, pointing to some deeper inequality that really needs addressing. And I think when we look at the vaccine rollout, we look at how seemingly successful that's been in our own country, and then we look across the world and realise actually that the vaccine rollout and the distribution of the vaccine is being done in incredibly inequitable ways. So perhaps these are some of the things again that we want to reflect on this week as we think about our communities and our relationships moving forward. Are there issues to do with fairness and equality that we really feel that we'd like to take a stand on? So those are the three areas for me, how much we need other people, how much dependence we are on the work of other people, and how our society really needs to change in its treatment and its fairness in its fairness of treatment of people. So there are things that occurred to me, but I'm sure there will be other things that occur to you during this week. So I think it's going to be an important week for us as we share and reflect together. I'll be sending out the resources later on this morning, and again please do use the Facebook page to be sharing any thoughts or insights that you have yourself. So as we come to the end of our time today, I thought we might use another mindfulness practice to help us reflect on this. And this is a lovely mindfulness practice which is called the practice of loving kindness. So if you'd like to just get yourself comfortable, and I would suggest, if you're happy to, that you close your eyes for this and you just listen to my voice guiding you through it. So just settling into your chair, taking 2 or 3 slightly deeper in breaths and out breaths. And for the first part of this practice, which we can use as a prayer, I'd like you to hold yourself, the image of yourself, centre stage in your mind's eye. that may feel a little uncomfortable for you. And if it does, then just noticing that. But remembering those words of Jesus, that we are to love our neighbours as we love ourselves. So starting with kindness and compassion towards ourselves. So I'm going to make 3 statements which are prayers or desires for ourselves. And you may like to just echo these in your own heart. May I be as happy as I am able to be. May I be as healthy as I am able to be. May I know peace deep within me. And as you make those prayers for yourself, you may just want to imagine it's almost like pebbles dropping into a deep pond, and the pebbles sinking deeper and deeper as the words sink into you. So now letting go of that image of yourself in your mind's eye, and instead bringing to mind someone who you love very much, but have been unable to see this last year, or certainly this last lockdown. So holding that person in your mind's eye and making these prayers for them. May you be as happy as you are able to be. May you be as healthy as you are able to be. May you know peace deep within you. And as you echo these words in your own heart, just noticing for yourself the reaction that that provokes in you. So now bringing to mind someone that you feel grateful for through this experience of the pandemic. So it could be your local delivery driver or shopkeeper, or it could be someone who has looked after you or someone you love over this last year. It could be the refuse collector who collects your rubbish each week. Whoever it is, just holding one person in your mind's eye and making these prayers for them. May you be as happy as you are able to be. May you be as healthy as you are able to be. May you know peace deep within you. So letting go of that person from your mind's eye, and finally bringing to mind someone you know who has suffered this last year. Someone who has felt pain or loss. And this may be difficult for you, but as gently as you can, holding them centre stage in your mind's eye and making these prayers for them. May you be as happy as you are able to be. May you be as healthy as you are able to be. And may you know peace despite everything that you have been through. May you know peace deep within you. So as we sit here in our separate spaces on this Monday morning or whenever you're catching up with this video. These prayers, these ripples are spreading out into the world around us. Amen. So we are nearly done. But I just wanted to close by reading something for you, which I heard on Desert Island Discs, of all places, yesterday. And on Desert Island Discs yesterday was Dame Louise Casey, who some of you may know or have heard of, who is an incredible woman who has worked in the field of homelessness and hunger and deprivation, really all of her professional life, and she is a force to be reckoned with. Her final song that she chose on Desert Island Discs was from the Self-Isolation Choir, who I must admit I hadn't heard of, but who are apparently an international choir of people who've been coming together during the pandemic and singing together on their devices, on Zoom, on Teams or whatever, and then all those voices being collected into amazing performances. And she chose a really beautiful piece of music, which I will try and play a little bit of at the end, but Facebook might cut it, because Facebook does that sometimes. So if not, I shall put the link again on the Facebook page. But this is what she said, and she said it with such emotion in her voice. I just wanted to read you what she said. Dear God, I hope as the clouds part and the sun shines again, and we're through this, that we will all meet again together, and we will leave no one behind. That we will go back and we will check that people aren't hungry, and we will check that people aren't homeless. And we will check that communities who have been riven by unemployment and by despair have hope. I thought that was amazingly powerful and something that can lead us into our reflections this week. So go well. I hope you have a very good week, and again enjoy any meetings that you're having with your retreat mentors. Do join us tomorrow or Thursday for morning prayer if you're able to, and Simon will be leading midweek prayer on Wednesday. Go well.